All I know, and I think I shared the story that everybody knows about how Aunt Zithia, we lived with Aunt Zithia for a while when mother was in the sanitarium and how she merged us with her family. And basically, she had, I think there were 7 of us who had to move in with her and then her own 5 children. And she had those 12 children to take care of. So I shared that story. There's some others that I know that I'm not comfortable sharing. Um, what else? She was a real, how do I say this? I'm just going to say it. She was a very spiritual person in terms of when I lived out in Oakland and they were in San Francisco, I had to every day of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to pray. There was family prayer meetings, so you got out of bed with your pajamas on and sleepy, and you wandered into the kitchen and you mumbled some words of prayer. And as soon as it was over, you got back in the bed. And that was and that was me going up there just for weekends. I think her children had to do that every day that the Lord sent and mumble something. That I remembered about her. She was a good cook, like all the Scott girls were. That's about as much as I can recall at this moment. Anybody else got it?
I remember
I can just say, I can just say amen to the 4 o'clock in the morning because I spent a summer out there. And it's every day, 4 o'clock in the morning, you get up, you go to the kitchen table, and you have prayer time.
That was her. And Jack, go ahead. I'm sorry, Norma. Were you finished?
Now,
Luvenia was going to say something after.
and I can also remember that you had to be in the house at a certain time of the evening. There was no excuses or anything. Certain time of the evening, you're in the house, period. Aunt Zeffie was very strict with her rules and regulations. And she was like that when she stepped in for mother when mother was in the sanitarium. She's very strict with her rules and regulations. I remember one time we were playing around in the house and we should have known better, but we were up walking around on one of her tables that she used for studying, and we broke it down. And she came home and she asked who did it, and nobody was going to spill the beans on anybody. And so she lined us all up, and she gave us another opportunity to point somebody out, and nobody would, so we all got a beating.
That would be her. Luvenia, you were going to say something.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that, yeah, she was a very, very spiritual person. I remember when I got married the first time and everything was going through the cracks. I guess probably my mother had talked to her, I guess, and maybe the family was praying for me or whatever. I don't know. But she came to visit my mom, and I happened to be there that evening because I was still living at home with my mother after everything, kind of went south. And so she saw me, and all she did was she kind of gathered me up and she says, "Come on in this room. I have something I need to share with you." So she took me into my little bedroom, closed the door, opened her Bible, and she gave me all these scriptures that she thought would help to bolster me up to get through what I was going through.
Yeah.
And so I wrote them all down. I still have them today in my Bible.
Wow.
That she had given me. And as a matter of fact, on Harrisa's birthday, I had shared that with not Tag's daughter, but Peggy's daughter.
Oh, okay.
And I gave them to her, so she has them now too. But yeah, it was really something. But the scriptures covered everything. I mean, just everything. But she gave me all these different scriptures to read and to pay close attention to. So yeah, that she was. And it wasn't like she said a whole lot. She didn't really talk about a whole lot of things. She didn't chide me or try to figure out what had happened or nothing. She just
started giving you the Bible.
Yeah.
If you would send those to me, email them to me so that I can include them.
Oh, okay.
Or can you?
But like I say, they cover there's a lot of different things. It's not just you going through this marital situation. These are all the scriptures. It was just, just a random amount.
Okay, okay. All right. Yeah, the other thing that I remembered is one time Earl had gone, Earl and Cedric, the duo, gone down to the drugstore, Mr. Gill's drugstore on Southwest Boulevard, and Earl had stolen something. I don't even remember what it was now, but he came back home with it. And when Aunt Zephyr saw that he had stolen it, she asked him where he got it from, and he couldn't make up a good enough lie. She went with him back to Mr. Gill's drugstore, and she made him hand the candy or whatever it was back to that man and to say this, Mr. Gill, here's your candy that I stole. And
Wow.
when she told him she was going to do that, he was boo-hooing and crying, and we were crying for him. He still had to go down there and return that candy and apologize to that man. When you
Wow.
say she was strict about the rules, yeah, she was strict about the rules.
Yeah, very strict.
Yeah. And then
Who
one
do you think she got that from? Do you think, did she get that from Big Daddy or Big Mama? Or that was just her?
that's a good question. I don't think Big Mama would have, I don't know. That could have been a part of each of her parents. That's a possibility. But it didn't seem to me and we only spent summers with them. It didn't seem to me that they were as intense about it as she was. It was like, I've got these kids God gave me, and I'm responsible for making sure they grow up to be good citizens and know the Lord, et cetera, et cetera. And she was Johnny on the spot in terms of doing everything that she could to make sure that happened.
Well, what Big Mother did do one time though is when I can't think of that girl's name. She was kind of heavy set girl, and she and I were good friends. And I was down at Big Mother's at time, and she had called me a heifer. I can't remember why we were talking about that. But anyway, what Big Mother did is told me, said, I want you to go over to her house and ask her mother, what's a heifer? And when she says, why you asking, tell her your daughter called me one. So
That sounds like Lillie Banks to me.
that was
Lily's mama. Yeah. The
Yeah.
other Earl, go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just thinking about Lavinia's question, and I was saying, that sounds like Big Daddy. Maybe, but he may not have been as forceful in it, but I think he probably would have walked you back to the store and had you return that.
Yeah.
That really does sound like him. But
the other thing, I think Earl was her biggest challenge, because the other thing that I'm remembering too that she did to him was, that he went to church on Wednesdays. So getting ready to go to prayer meeting, and Earl had done something else, and she said, I'm just tired of you. I'm just tired of all this foolishness that you're going through. She said, I guess when I get back here, I'm just going to have to hang you. We were all at our house. I'm just going to have to hang you up. And so we were just crying, and they'd gone on a prayer meeting. And we were just crying, and Cedric was saying, Earl, man, I'm going to pull all the nails out of the wall. She's not going to have anything to hang you up on. So we went through that misery the whole time, waiting for them to get back from prayer meeting. And when they got back, she said, okay, I'm going to let you go this time. That woman had not intended. That woman had not intended to hang. She didn't intend to hang him, but we were scared to death. And one of the things about that was, Lily's children and Zephyr's children, when they lived in Kansas City, were really, really close. When one was hurt, the other was hurt. Of course, I don't think that that Cedric and Earl ever fought each other, but they fought for each other. One time, one of the Grayson boys had jumped on Cedric after school, and the Grayson boy was getting the best of him. And Earl ran and got this big old rock, and he said, we call Cedric Junior, just hold him down, man, hold him down. He was going to hit that guy in the head with that rock. Hold him down, I got this. And some adult came by and stopped it.
Norma's trying to ask something.
Norma.
I was just going to say, now, Big Mama was strict about her rules too, because when I spent summers with her a lot, And at 6 o'clock in the morning, you were up out of that bed.
Mhm.
6 a.m.
Mhm.
Up out of that bed, she would have breakfast ready and everything. After you finished that, you did laundry and you washed, rinsed, hung them out on the clothesline. When they got dry, you brought them in, you ironed everything. Sheets, the kitchen towels and all of that, her little doilies that she made, everything was ironed and put away. And only then were you able to enjoy life.
Mhm.
Up to that point, that's what you had to do. And on the days that we didn't do laundry, we had to churn for the butter and all that. But Big Mama had rules about work, your work ethic. She had
Mhm.
rules about that.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
also had a rule about you don't go to the movies on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, I went to my other grandmother's house and she allowed you to go to the movies on Sunday. So we were on our way to the movie. And why I thought I could get by walking past Big Mama's house, I thought it's nighttime. She's not going to be on the porch, but she was on the porch. Nighttime, she's not going to be able to see me, but she picked me out of about 6 other kids. And she said, Norma. So I'm saying, so I just go on and she said, okay, now you know Mama don't want you to go into the movie on, but Mama's getting ready to take you someplace you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And that someplace was the Holiness Church. I did have a good time. Now I do have to say that because my dad's mom and Uncle what was his name? I want to say Uncle Freddie. But anyway, honey, they danced up and down them aisles, and I'm telling you, I had a good time. So I had to thank Big Mama for taking me to the Holy Church. But I really wanted to go to the movie. But she was strict about her rules about going to movies, about what you wore, about your work ethic and all of that. She had her strict rules about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And your sister
Hey, y'all.
Kathy. Go ahead, Roboto. You said.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Nice to see everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Sound like y'all talking about my people from Louisiana. You know, Black people throughout the world, how they carry themselves, what they meant for you to do, is all the same.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Just do the right thing and believe in God first and continue to march.
It was a black thing.
Oh, yeah, African.
I don't
That's how
doubt.
we do it.
Uh-huh.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Stevie, where you at, man? What beat you at? You in
huh?
Jamaica? Where you at, man?
No,
That's the background.
that's a virtual background.
Oh, I like that, bro.
I sent you and Luvenia a message. I said, in this dream that I keep having, that's my backyard.
Oh my.
Ah.
Oh.
But you know, I guess now I understand where my mother got that from because she was exactly like that. I mean, we
Mhm.
couldn't go to the movies. I couldn't sew. I couldn't do anything on a Sunday, period, except go to church. And that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah.
You know, but when it come to washing clothes, I'm organized, Lord. She had a whole plan laid out for that. You wash out the clothes, you have to stretch out the sheets a certain way. Then if you got socks, they got to go in between the sheets, each one. And then the underwear got to be hung a certain way. And then when you take everything off, you can't be just throwing them in the basket. You have to fold them up right there on the spot and put them in the basket before you bring them in the house, you know. But yeah, she had a method to that stuff, boy.
Yeah,
So
she
I
got
guess
that
she
from
got,
her mama.
yeah, I see. I didn't know that.
I
I
think
have two
Veessa
more
was probably more like Big Mama than any of the others were. All
Yeah.
of them had some of her traits, but V had her calmness. I never saw her get excited about stuff. She was very calm, and humming when she cooked. When I'd be
Oh,
out,
she sang for everything.
yeah, yeah, she was a lot like Big Mama.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, even when she had the Alzheimer's and stuff, and she had forgotten so much, anytime that water would hit her for the shower, she would start singing. I said, "Well, Mama, what song is that?" She said, "I don't know," but she'd be singing it, you know, whatever it was.
Yeah,
She'd be singing.
yeah.
Well, I have two more Big Mama stories.
Okay.
Big Mama Kathy, she told her not to be swinging on the neighbor's swing.
Yeah.
Kathy went over there and swung on the swing anyway, and she had me pushing her, and I pushed her way up high. She fell out of the swing. She broke her nose. Big Mama went and got 3 willow switches and twisted them together, whipped her behind with her broken nose, and
Uh-oh.
then took her to have her nose fixed. The
Wow.
blood, she got her behind whipped. And then the other time, Big Mama always kept a bucket of water on the dining room table, so you just have to, just dip your water in. So anyway, Peggy came in one day and asked Big Mama about a drink of water, and Big Mama told her, "Well, there's no water in the jug." So Peggy gets on a chair and looks in the thing, and she sees water, and she said, Big Mama sure can lie.
Oh my
And she
goodness.
didn't know Big Mama was going to hit. She didn't know Big Mama heard her. Well, Big Mama had to laugh first. She didn't know she was laughing, but Harris was doing this happen. And then Peggy, as usual, you got to get in trouble when you do things you're supposed to do. But anyway, she had her rules and her regulations, and she had her discipline, her ways of disciplining. And I don't care if your arm was broken or whatever, you're going to get your whipping with them willow switches. And then you can take care of the broken arm or the broken neck or whatever if you're still alive.
Well, listen, the swing that you're talking about, was that the one where the blind guy, his mother, he was over there with his mother, they had a porch. Yeah, that was the swing on the porch.
Yeah.
The one, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't get his name right now, but I think it
Yeah.
was Willie John or Willie somebody, yeah. They lived
I
over
know.
there. Kathy used to go over there.
Yeah.
Time.
And she know
Oh,
Big Mama
yeah.
told her not to be in that swing.
Yeah, but Big
I don't
Mama.
know why we were always trying to defy Big Mama, because I think she had an angel that told her every little thing that we did.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess my mother got the switches from Big Mama too, because
Yeah, mother
she
too.
would either make us go out there and get a switch, or
Mhm.
either she would get some herself and braid them together. But she would always cover us with a sheet before she spanked us. I guess she didn't want us to get whipped or whatever. I don't know what, but she would take a sheet.
That's the first time I've heard of that one. Wow.
Well, Lillie Mae
Over
would
our
braid the
legs.
switches and whip you with them. She was good
Yeah.
at that. And she sent you out there to get the switch. And
Yeah.
she could braid it.
Well, what's that story, Stephen? It was it Mickey or
No,
that
it
mother
was
told
about
him to
me,
tell him when to stop. Tell her when to stop. Was it?
No, well, here's the thing. We were, William Hackney, he had the key to the church because he would clean up the church. And he was a little older than the rest. He was a couple of years older than me. So I think William was only like he couldn't have been older than maybe 14, probably 13. But he would clean up, they let him clean up the church. So anyway, we're in there, I think it was a watch meeting, and all the young people were downstairs. So we're upstairs playing in the sanctuary. Already gonna get in trouble for that, probably. But decided we were gonna play Dr. Kildare. Now, the only thing you can use for a gurney is a table with wheels on it, right? So we got the communion table, and we rolling down the aisle, calling Dr. Kildare, throw open the sanctuary doors, and they had a brand new glass doors, outside doors with the frosted crosses in the middle and all that. Flung those open, and they swung back, hit those big old stone walls, and broke both of the doors. Brand new doors. So mother said, so of course all the adults come upstairs just about, and mother sends us home. So go home. Y'all go home, wait for me. Wait for me. Because y'all know you're gonna get a whipping. So we go home. And we sitting there waiting, and she gonna finish watch meeting, you know, and probably thinking she was gonna get to wake us up when she got home to whoop it. But we're sitting up trying to figure out how we're gonna get out of it, and hoping Daddy come home so we could plead our case to him. Well, it didn't work. Mother came home first, and she tells Ricky, she says, well, since you're the youngest, I'm gonna whip you first. And you just tell grandmother when it starts hurting, and grandmother's gonna stop, okay? So she starts whipping, and Rook goes, okay, grandmother, it hurts. And she kept on whipping him. Said, grandmother, it hurt. And she just kept whipping. So he's crying, he's screaming out, grandmother, it hurt. She said, well, what'd you say, baby? Grandmother can't hear you. And you know she just did that to scare us because he the baby, so what you think we got coming?
This is mother's what? Great grandchild right here. So he comes in here and says, may I have a penny? Oh,
Yeah,
oh, this is Deshaun. I want you to know to meet.
oh, that's the son.
Okay, so when I get my purse to get the penny, he said, well, could it be 2 pennies or maybe 3?
Oh, you know where that came from. His Uncle Anthony. Yeah, that's where that came from. Norma, you had your hand up.
Oh, I was just getting ready to say, backing up Steve's story. If Lillie Mae promised you a whipping, honey child, I don't care if she was gone to 12 midnight. When she got home, you were getting a whipping.
Yeah.
And one time me and Dorothy and Kathy, I forgot what we did, but she promised us a whipping, and it was early in the day. Mother went by doing her housework and all that. Then she went to church for some kind of rehearsal or a meeting or something. And when she got back, well, me and Dorothy, we had good sense. Kathy didn't. So she gonna stuff herself with all kind of stuff. So after Mother get through beating me and Dorothy, she told Kathy not only take all that stuff off, but take off your clothes. So Kathy had to get a whipping without no clothes on.
Oh.
We did have our clothes on to get our whipping. But if she said you getting a whipping, I don't care if she goes to California and come back. When she come back, you're getting a whipping. Period.
I think that was sadistic.
Yeah. Any more of those kinds of stories? We've done on Zephyr, and you really have sneaked in some about Veessa and Mother as well. So Mother was the second one in line. Anything else about her?
Oh,
I love it when
I'm
Norma
thinking,
said, Norma said Dorothy was the one that had good sense. Dorothy, I remember I don't know. Dorothy was sassing Mother about something, and I'm always the one. I'm scared of a whipping. I don't want to get a whipping. I don't want nobody else to get a whipping. But and she was just determined. Mother's looking at her, and she's just steady running her mouth. And so you know that pinch, that Lillie Mae pinch.
oh yes.
Oh yes, that pinch was famous around the world. I mean, and she grabbed Dorothy, and she was just pinching, and Dorothy was not going to say a word. She wasn't going to cry. She was not going to say a word. And I could tell Mother's looking at her, and she said, "Okay, you ain't gonna say nothing." Then she started pinching her more to Dorothy, and I'm just begging Dorothy, please cry, please. I don't think that none ever did cry. I think Mother finally just gave up. I thought, oh Lord.
That's another one of Mother's failures in her discipline, because Kathy did not want to wear a certain dress to school or to church, and Mother had put on her.
The
And Mother
church.
told her, it was church. Dorothy, Norma, you probably know the story better than I do because you were there.
Now you tell the story. And if you mess up, I'll fix it.
Okay, good. So then, so Mother told her, you're going to wear this dress to church. And Kathy said, no, I'm not. So Mother kept on. And then Kathy, when Mother made her put it on, she tore it off. And Mother, this was a Lizzie Scott thing. Mother picked up the torn up dress and sewed it up and put it back on that girl. Do you think she didn't tear it off again?
Mm.
And I don't know, number what
Ooh,
happened after that?
that's
Did she
Karen's
get a
aunt.
did she get a whipping?
She, I
I
can't
don't know
remember
if
if
she
she
got a
got whipping, but I
whipping, but
do
I
know
know
she went
she
to
made
church.
Maxine cry because she wouldn't do what Maxine told her to do. And she was
Yeah.
supposed to be going to school. And she
But
just,
Norma, did she get a whipping about the dress thing?
I
I,
don't remember.
I can't remember if she got a whipping, but I do know she went to church.
Yeah,
Mother,
Yeah.
she was going to
mother
church.
tried to find another dress for her to wear. She went to church. She probably did get a whipping, but she didn't get a whipping before she went to church. I tell you that.
She was stubborn. Oh my Lord, stubborn. She
Very
writes about her stuff in the book that she put together too.
I have not had a chance to read her book, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's good.
The only other person that I knew that was stubborn as Dorothy is Karen, my sister.
Oh
Karen.
yeah. Yeah, I remember Karen too when she was
Mhm.
very, very little, as a matter of fact, and determined to do
Yes,
whatever she felt
Yeah,
like doing.
very
yeah.
stubborn.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and
I kind of
I'm like my mother. I'd be crying. Please, just cry. Why don't you? Because you're crazy.
Oh,
There's something that Kathy wrote about her experience with Maxine, because she was at Maxine's house.
mhm.
Oh, Norma, you were involved. You and Kathy did a lot of stuff together. You were
Yeah,
involved too, and I think she said that you were going out with some friends. Kathy said she wanted to go with you, and you said you didn't want her because she was too young. You didn't want your little sister tagging along. And Maxine intervened some kind of way. And Kathy said she called Mac an old bitch, and Mac was pregnant at the time. And
I don't remember,
yeah, Maxine was
I don't
whipping
remember
her
that.
about whatever, and Kathy told her, "You're not my mama. You can't whip me, bitch." And Mac stopped whipping her and just started crying.
mhm.
I give up. I can't handle this.
Well, that
I
was her
do.
favorite person, though. That was her favorite, Maxine. That was Maxine's favorite, was Kathy. Kathy. Yeah.
No, it was not her favorite. It's her project. She was a,
Was that what it was?
I gotta
She's
try to tame this person.
Girl, even when Kathy was grown,
Uh-huh.
Maxine was still for Kathy. Because when we had that trip, went on this trip up to New York, and then we came back to Opal's house. And Kathy was doing so I don't know what Kathy did, but anyway, the alarm went off. And Maxine thought it was me. And the first thing she said, Dorothy, what are you doing now? Come to find out, Kathy is the one that was over there messing with the door and set the alarm off. So yeah, she protected Kathy, even though Kathy did some everything but about herself.
it's probably
And
because Kathy always was in so much trouble. Always.
Bless her.
She was
Is that what it was?
Always. She just didn't. If it was something that she made up her mind she was going to do,
she was
she
she
going
was
to
was
do
doing
going
it.
to do it, come hell or high water.
Mhm.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I have a good story. Lillie Mae really was a friend of mine, and we used to love to play jokes on my husband. And
Uh-huh.
so, and so one time, I don't know what Pete and I got into it about, but whatever it was, I left and I went down to mother's house. And so then he called down there to talk to me, and she answered the phone like she was me. And she and he was just talking, and I don't know if he was explaining himself or whatever. And she just mother was just saying all kind of crazy stuff. Y'all know y'all's mama how she can be talking. So she was just talking and talking all kind of trash to Pete. And then finally she just started cracking up and said, boy, here's Norma. And but we used to play jokes on my husband all the time. And she loved it and I loved it too, because he was always doing something he hadn't been doing. So she would get him back.
Well, I know y'all remember the whippings and the pension and stuff, but mother also loved the discipline with the scripture.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I remember one time we was down in Oklahoma, and me and Freddie had been all the way from Big Mom and Big Daddy's house. Well, no, we went up to the Rexall and got these frozen Cokes. And on the way back, we was collecting bottle caps. So we get home, we got all these bottle caps, and we're separating them out. And I guess we had an uneven number or something, because we over there arguing over the bottle cap. So, mother, she comes, calls us over to her, and reminds us that we're cousins and that we love each other and that those are just things. Those are just things. But what we have as cousins is much more precious than anything that we could possibly have. And then she teaches us. What was it? Proverbs? What is it?
A good name is rather to be
A
chosen than
good
great
name is
riches.
rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving
Yep.
favor than silver and gold.
Yeah, she would tell you, she teach the scriptures. You know something else
Yep.
she would do? She was always good at, she wanted us to make the right decision, right? So when you say, Mother, may I go wherever I was going? Well, just let your conscience be your guide. So then when you go on and decide to do it anyway, well, if your conscience won't guide you, I guess I have to.
Oh, I used to hate that.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I was looking through Cassie's book to find the exact story that she had with her experience with Maxine, but I haven't found it yet. But that was the classic stubbornness that she was going to do what she felt like doing. And she said when Max started crying, she felt really bad, but she still didn't repent because she did it over and over and over again, the same stuff. So, and we've moved to the different generation talking about Kathy, but what about, I wish Merle was on, maybe we'll save that for the next time because I'm going to move to Aunt Velma, she's the next in line. But Nisha, I remember very little because she didn't plant her roots anyplace for a very long time. But
Yeah,
I
we need Kay. We need Kay on here to talk about our initiative.
Kay keeps telling me I don't know that family history. I don't know that stuff. I'm gonna try to get her to come on next week. So let's save Nisha for Kay to be on.
You
Hey,
know,
but now you did
I'll
know
tell
about.
you,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll tell you one thing, but Anisha, I remember when Anisha, when her vision started to fail,
Uh-huh.
and
The main group.
and she came to visit one time, and I
Oh, right.
I went to pick her up at the airport. So I go to get her, and she didn't recognize me. So I go get her because she's in a wheelchair. I think she and mother came in on the same flight. And I'm taking her to get her luggage. But she's asking about her sister. And I said, well, we're gonna go get your luggage first. No, Mr. Man, I need to get with my sister first. I said, well, I'm gonna take you to where we can get the luggage, and your sister will be along later. I don't know where you taking me. I don't even know you. I don't even know you. I said, well, I'm not taking you outside the place. I'm just taking you to get your luggage. Well, I'm gonna tell somebody something. Hey, so she got ready to start telling folks on me, so I had to tell her, this is Steve. Boy, I don't care how grown you are, I'm gonna whip you.
I can tell you one thing about.
You did it again, I'll whip you right where you stand.
I can tell you one thing about Anisha. She loved her soap operas. I've never seen anybody that and watch the soap operas all day and record them and will get up late at night and put the recordings on and watch the soap operas all over again. Same cotton picking soap operas that she had watched through the day.
Oh my goodness. But now, but you knew Nisha's husband. What's his name? What's that called man? Huh?
She had many husbands.
I mean, the first one here in Kansas City that should be
Aben Robbins. Aben Robbins. Oh my God. And she was way more than poor old Aben could handle.
Oh,
Lord. He would plead with mother to he called her Queenie. Make Queenie leave me alone. I don't want to hurt her because he stuttered. You need to make Queenie leave me alone. And mother would say, they should leave that man alone. Because she would plague him, but she'd fight him too. She was a fighter. She would fight that man. I thought that my Aunt Nisha was the most beautiful human being in all of the United States of America. She was so attractive. was tiny little thing. She dressed well. And back in the day, they really did not make makeup for Black women. So she used the soot from the coal stove to darken her lipstick.
Hmm.
And so that she wouldn't have to wear that. And same thing with the nylon hose. They would soak those in strong coffee water to make them darker so they could so they would be consistent with their skin.
Mhm.
But yeah, she was when Kathy was born, Nisha adopted her as her baby. So she would buy clothes for her and come over and bathe her and take care of her. She and Abel would take Kathy out sometimes. Daddy was not pleased with that, but mother didn't care. But they would take her out and take her places and bring her back. Kathy was her baby. She loved that. But she was like, she and cousin Rachel would drink and they would come to the house and they'd be cussing. And I don't know, Daddy put cousin Rachel out one time because he kept on telling her, Rachel, don't be cussing around my kids. And then she'd cuss some more. And he said, Rachel, I told you, don't be cussing around my kids. Hell, your damn kids ain't no better than nobody else's kids. And Daddy said,
shoot.
oh, okay, it's time for you to leave. When you're sober, you can come back. But
But you know,
Well, I-
Anisha and Aunt Opal were real close.
they also fought like cats and dogs. Yeah.
But they loved each other, fighting and all.
Aunt Opal and Anisha.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Abram made one big mistake with Anisha. He was fooling with some woman, and he gave her a credit card to one of the high price stores in Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
Well, Anisha already had credit cards in her name
Uh-huh.
with all the high price stores in Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
We went in this one store, and this woman was in there with a credit card in Abram's name buying some stuff. Honey, Nisha took that credit card and tore it up and told them people if she ever comes in here again with a credit card, she's a thief and a liar, and call the police. Ooh, I think that's when she and Uncle Abram finally
They finally broke up.
I think that was the last straw for her. When
Yeah,
that, when
yeah.
that happened. But yeah, she didn't take no step off of no
No, indeed.
big,
No.
little, it didn't make her any difference whatsoever.
No, she didn't take stuff off of people.
Well, that
And you-
sounds kind of like who was it you talked about? I guess was it Big Mother's mother or was it Big Daddy's mother? The one who had to grab the lady who came to her house.
Now this is a May story. I wasn't there. Did y'all hear Mother tell that story? I think she told that when we celebrated her 86th birthday.
Oh,
And it was Grandpa Ellison and his wife. What was Grandma? Now what Liza? Rebecca.
okay.
And Grandpa Ellis was a womanizer, evidently. And this woman who had been going with Grandpa Ellis had the nerve to come with him to their house one day. And they came into the house, and Grandma Rebecca came in, and this woman all up in her face, "Hi, Becca, how you doing?" And she's mother, according to mother, Grandma Rebecca raised her hand. She was a gentle woman too, from what mother said, and slapped that woman so hard, knocked the woman down on the floor. How dare you come in my house trying to
I'm
be friendly
telling
with
you.
me while you're messing around with my husband? That was, she wasn't putting it. Now, both of Grandpa Taft's wife, Grandma Liza, and Grandma Rebecca were very gentle women, mother said. They didn't make a lot of noise, but they were not mousy. They defended their territory. And Rebecca was full-blooded Indian.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what we
Both of her
Cherokee,
parents were
right?
Indian, yeah.
Yeah, we're Cherokee.
Found two more.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, that was
What did you say, Babadi?
no, that was Tim.
That was Tim. Yeah, he's over here doing some work for me.
Okay.
She on the phone someplace upstairs, I think.
Oh,
She got a lot of stories because they live not that far away from each other.
Well,
They all
like-
live close. They all live in a close radius to and from each other.
Oh.
And Velma and my mama.
Mhm.
oh, really?
Yeah.
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 Me and my mother-in-law, you know.
Yeah, yep. Well, I'm Velma and Veessa were very close.
Very
yeah.
close.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
well,
they
I know
were.
that summer when I was a kid and I stayed out there, Anisha was there every morning with that bad little toddler of hers. Lollipop, go ahead and wake them boys up.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
As a
Lord.
matter of
couldn't.
fact, Kay called me and wanted to know if she could stay here at the house when she for the reunion. And I told her, well, yeah, you can stay, but I'm not going to be there. I ain't staying in your house all by myself. She said so. I said, well, I rent my hotel room, and you can just share the room with me. So now, is it going to be like all of us will gather in the same room and talk and sing like Mama and her sisters used to do? I said, I don't know. We'll see if the others want to gather and sing and talk. But I remembered that. Do you remember at family reunions how those sisters would all be in the same
Yes,
room? Yeah,
yes.
yeah, they were very close
Yeah,
and
very,
probably
very
sharing stories just like we are now. And remember,
Anytime they got together, that's what they would do.
that's what they would do.
That's what they would do. It was just
Yeah.
fascinating to me that's why they.
I have a tape, and I think I shared it with you all of Mother and Veessa singing old songs together, having a conversation and
Yeah,
singing old. You got that?
that
Yeah,
one song
yeah.
that my wife just loves about the Slough Fox. Was it that
Oh,
old
yeah,
devil with the
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
Slough?
be
Luvenia.
singing, yeah, I'll be singing that song.
Luvenia talks about that a lot too.
Mhm.
Did you see? Yeah, but the one that VS is saying on when we were out there, when we went out there, remember we went out there for Nish's to be with Nish, and she had passed before we got there. So we stayed and we gathered at VS's house. And we were taking pictures of all of them, and VS is saying, the devil is a sly old fox.
Mhm.
If I could, I'd lock him in a box, throw away the key, and what's the rest of it?
Lock him in a box and throw away the key.
And throw away the
He
key.
played on me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I posted that on Facebook, and one of my friends just loved it also.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But they truly enjoyed each other. They enjoyed each other's company. That's what I love to see. They laugh and talk, and then inevitably they'd end up singing a song. But they just enjoyed being together.
Yeah.
And I think Ivy was teaching herself how to play the piano a little bit at one time when I was out.
Ambi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was doing a good job too.
Yeah. Yeah.
She also took Spanish.
Really?
Yes, she did.
Yeah,
She did.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
She and Lillie got to come back. We're talking about her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But while
Yeah,
we pick it up,
because when she lived here with us,
Uh-huh.
at least about 4 years or so, she used to play piano all the time.
Oh, would she?
Oh yeah, there's a piano right behind me there. But with the last couple of years, you can tell that she was diminishing because a lot of times she didn't want to play, and it seems like when she played, she got all this energy. But the last couple of years, she really stopped playing and stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't really know,
Mhm.
going on there.
Yeah.
The last time that I saw Aunt V, Carice and I were at her house together because that's when we had gone out there and I was flying back by myself. And I stayed a little longer. And Harry's so bossy. She just can't tell Aunt V what to do all the cotton picking time. One morning Aunt V got up early and I happened to wake up. She said, yeah, honey, I had to get up so I could do something without Harry. She didn't even trying to tell me what to do and how to do it. I said, I don't blame you. And then Miss Reese knows so much, went out there in Aunt V's backyard and picked every orange that was on every tree. I've
No.
about 4 basketfuls of oranges that she picked.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not supposed to pick all the oranges off. Supposed to pick some of the oranges on so that the tree will replenish itself. Girl, Lord, Uncle Cleve came over there and saw what Harry had done, and he had fit. And that was after Velma had passed. I mean, he had a fit. But anyway, after I left, she and I made orange juice and orange marmalade and some of the oranges they just gave away like that. But they had to use those oranges up because they couldn't, just
I didn't
mess
know
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know what got in Harry's think she picked all the doggone oranges off the tree.
Well, she probably didn't think, because I never would have thought that the oranges wouldn't grow back because you picked them all off. I mean, I didn't understand that.
But would you have thought, what are we
It's-
gonna do with 4 baskets of
Four
Well, I
oranges?
don't know
yeah.
that, but I'm guessing. I'm just saying. I don't think she thought that.
It's that part, Norma.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't know, with her
Nervous
reason,
energy.
she is so industrious about stuff like
Yes.
that. I bet she had in her mind, we're gonna get these oranges and we're gonna make this and we're gonna make that.
He
Yeah,
probably did.
Nervous.
yeah,
He probably did.
yeah, she
Knowing
knew
her,
what she was gonna do with them. She and Veessa probably got from Big Mama that canning and juicing and all that stuff. Lillie Mae didn't get any of that.
I didn't either. Praise God, glory, hallelujah.
Huh?
I said I didn't either. Praise God, glory, hallelujah. I got enough of it when I was at Lizzie Scott's house in the summers. We had to go pick the cotton picking apples and peaches or whatever, then come back and do whatever you do to can them and all that. And oh my goodness. And when we did the green beans, if you got those long green beans, you had to arrange them a certain way in the jars to make them look real pretty, standing up in the jars. And oh, Big Mama was a mess. Oh Lord, gee.
Yeah, but one thing about it, her storehouse was always full. Always. And when she got ready to make fried pies, she'd go out there and get some of several jars of apples and make a dish pan full of fried pies and tell us. And then when Al would come over and eat them all up, she'd blame it on us. And she knew it was eating the pies.
Because they took Big Mama's storehouse for granted. They didn't even bother to ask, could they go in the cotton picking storehouse?
They wouldn't have ate
Well, she let them probably all
Her could do it.
they live 2 blocks away.
Yeah, kind of like around the corner, but yeah, she was all them could do whatever they wanted to do. Big Mama, she left.
But yeah,
Yeah, they got generosity from Big Mama too. Her kids did. They were all very generous people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. So we're gonna pick this up now in a couple of weeks and get the other cousins on here.
We can try. Steve, I'm just looking at your thing.
So here comes being back.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that phone call.
Oh, we've been talking about your mama. You need to tell us some more stuff.
My mother. Oh wow. Yeah, my mom.
Is that where you got your sewing from?
What's that?
Is that where you got your creativity from, the sewing and all that you do?
I think the creativity side really came from my father.
Okay.
Yeah, my father was an artist. I mean, he could draw anything. He was he used to draw wildlife animals and in oil paints and stuff like that.
Wow.
Plus his carpentry work, he could build anything. So
yeah, because he had that cabinet shop in the garage.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. He lived out there. So my mom, she would go out there at the shop, and try to tell him what he needed to do with certain things, and he would listen for a while, and then he would tell us, "Okay, you can go on back in the house now."
As a matter of fact, one of the things that Barbara had on her list was to tell about the marriage, and I don't think it was mentioned who B was married to.
Yeah, she married her next door neighbor. Isaiah Cargill lived right down the street from her, And so that's how she, so she married him, and they, I guess basically, I don't know whether they were looking at each other for a long time or not. I don't know what I think. Living next door and stuff, and then decided that they liked each other, I guess.
Yeah, she told a little of that story. I don't know whether it's recorded or not. It's probably recorded in something when she told about
yeah, it was in that thing that Floyd had written up about her.
Okay.
She dictated it. Yeah, she had dictated that to me.
Uh-huh.
Floyd wanted her to get some more information for what he was trying to write up about her autobiography, no, her biography. So
Uh-huh.
that's what she was telling me that you know about that and how they met and stuff, and they ended up getting married. And my father, I think he had a picture that he always kept of himself that he had sent to my mom, and on the back it said that this is the boy that lived down the street or something like that. He said, and he was playing a baseball because he really loves sports, so he was playing baseball and on a team and stuff. But yeah, when they got married, that was I guess Floyd was born right away afterwards, not too close, I guess, but they got married. Floyd was born in 48, and I think they got married something like 46 or 47, something like that.
I'm trying to remember because Vicky was she came to Kansas City and stayed with us for a little while.
Yeah.
Before they moved out to California. And
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my mom, she basically really, she kind of inspired me with the sewing too, though, because she used to make a lot of my clothes and a lot of the clothes for my dolls and stuff like that. And, and then of course the cooking, was definitely my mother. She really taught me how to do that and stuff. And I was told her, I said, my goodness, Mom, I think that you're not gonna let me date anybody until I can cook and clean and scrub and do all that kind of stuff.
That was from her own mother, I'll tell you.
Is that what it was?
Oh my goodness, yes. But so and Veessa canned too. Did she can? Did she do canning?
Oh yeah, she did do some canning.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She used to do.
But did she like to fish? Because I know.
No, she didn't like to fish.
Oh, she just.
My father liked to fish, and he'd bring them home, and she hated that because she had to clean them things.
Yeah, but when she cooked them, because when she came to Kansas City and cooked fish, it was delicious.
Oh yeah, she could cook anything.
Yeah, the little tiny one.
I think all those Scott girls could cook.
Yeah, they could.
Oh yeah.
Cook. Yeah.
Because she taught me how to make that 1, 2, 3, 4 cake. You don't need a recipe for that one.
Big Mama told me how to make that when I was 10 years old.
Well, I was real young, and everything had to be by hand, and I had to. I think it was 450 beats.
I was going to say, Big
Mama batter.
Using that wooden spoon, girl.
Yeah, and then your hands, you had to cream that sugar and butter together, and it would come out so fluffy. Be rising in the bowl, and
Yeah.
It was something.
I don't know if you remember, Luvenia, but when Harris and I were out there, when we came out for Aunt Velma's funeral, and I stayed a little longer than everybody else, and Harris picked all the oranges off the trees in the backyard. Do you remember that?
No, I don't. Was that at Aunt Velma's house?
Yeah, at your house. Went out there and picked
at your mother's house.
At Aunt V's house.
Oh, okay.
And I had about 4 baskets full. And after I left, they made marmalade and orange juice and oranges. I told him Uncle Cleve came over and found out that she had picked all the oranges. He had a dying fit.
Oh, okay.
He said, you don't pick all the oranges off the tree. You have to leave some on so they finish. Girl, I mean, he fussed up a storm.
I know. He would come check on those trees like that was his property,
I know he did. He really thought that was his property, I think.
I think we had lemons and grapefruit when I was out.
Yeah, she had a grapefruit tree, she had a lemon tree, and then he planted that orange tree, and then they also had a fig tree in the back and an apple tree in the back.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
She had a bunch of trees in her backyard. She did.
Yeah, she did. She really
did. But
did.
Big Mama, did love to fish. And Big Mama would take you out there on that fishing bank. And I mean, she could sit there all day long and fish.
Yeah, that's what my mother said.
Big Mama, she loved to fish. She took us took me out there a couple of times. I don't know, Cynthia, were you with us?
Well,
we one time. Yeah.
Yes, I hate it. I don't fish to this day. As I don't find anything interesting about fishing, and that was probably one of those discussions me and Big Mama got into.
And she was
along with the molasses
sorghum syrup.
Sorghum syrup.
Yeah, but she taught us was kind of a calming time, a meditating time for her, and she loved to do it because I was sitting there thinking nothing has bit anything. I don't see any fish moving around. They haven't grabbed thinking, well, why are we still sitting here? But it was a lot. Maybe that's where that family learned so much patience, because
Right.
you have to have patience to fish.
Well, you know, my mom has something about her because even though she was really quiet, she
Mhm.
never hesitated to lead anything. You know, I remember she was excuse me, the superintendent of her Sunday school,
Mhm.
the children's Sunday school department. I remember when I wanted to join the Girl Scouts, when she became the Girl Scout leader.
Oh,
Mhm.
really?
Boy was in the Cub Scouts. She was one of the den mothers.
Okay.
You know, she was the president of the PTA at the
Mhm.
school.
Mhm.
You know, she also was the manager of the cafeteria at the same school where we went. You know, and everything. So and then she did release time education, where she would go pick up the children out of their classrooms at the elementary school and take them over to another church, and then she would teach them during the school day. You know, about that.
Mhm.
But it was really something how quiet she was, but
Mm-hmm.
she was a leader. You know, it was really something because you would think that possibly she wouldn't put herself out that way, but she did.
But when you
But
think
what I
about it,
sensed about her is that she was quiet, but she was not shy.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
No, she wasn't. She
she
wasn't.
she wasn't shy. I remember one time when she was in Kansas City and I lived with my family out on 87th Street, and she and mother and daddy were at my house visiting, and we were talking about people who commit suicide. And I said something out of my youthful ignorance that about people who commit suicide must be going to hell because they committed murder or something stupid like that. And
Mhm.
she said, well, Barbara, have you thought about sometimes people kill themselves, they're mentally ill
Mm.
and they're not in their right mind, or maybe life has been more for them than they can really handle. And she said it just like that. And
Wow.
that's the thing that started me thinking about making rash judgments about behavior, about people's
Right.
behavior, is when she said that.
That's true. So
Yeah.
she would always teach us about, to think about others,
Yeah.
Mm.
and put yourself in that person's place. How would you feel if that happened? So it was like all throughout my life, I've always done that. I can't deal with the situation without saying, well, how would I feel if somebody said something like that?
Mhm.
And
Uh-huh.
I have to go through that whole thing, and I still do it even as of today. How would I feel if that? And then I found out that that's how you really learn empathy.
Right.
And I
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
Yeah.
nowadays the kids nobody's asking them to think about how would that make you feel. So
Yeah.
they don't put
They don't
themselves
have
in
it.
anybody's place. They don't try to feel the pain
Right.
to
No.
know what somebody else may be experiencing. But
She
yeah,
was
she would
even,
always do that. Always, always.
Yeah.
Make
yeah.
you see
It
I
that
was
you're
sort
remember.
of
worried
a
about.
family thing because I remember uh your cousin Cornelius, and he had
Yeah,
the mental health issue, and he was
right.
over at Big Daddy's house, and we were all down there because it must have been in the summer, and he was just in the living room saying crazy stuff, and we were just laughing at him and making fun, and he was laughing too. He didn't know we were making fun of him, and Big Daddy heard it, and he came out of the room and he said, he didn't say, how would you like? He said, y'all know that you all know there's no just cause, his favorite
Oh
expression,
yeah, he's always
no
saying,
just cause for treating somebody like that. So he broke the whole thing up.
Mhm.
That sense of thinking about how what you say and do impacts somebody else, I think it's planted in both of our grandparents that because
Mhm.
I saw it happening and when I would encounter them in situations like that.
And
yeah,
a couple of things when you were talking about her leadership ability, Big Daddy wasn't one that did a whole lot of talking, but if something needed to be said, he did not hold back.
All the
And
time.
oh
or
yeah, yeah,
being a leader, he led that church. Because the pastor only came once a month or whatever. And Big
Uh-huh.
Daddy he's the one that led, he taught the Sunday school, he led the
yeah,
worship. He was like the person who took charge of everything over there at First Baptist Church. I always will remember because we were little when we were there.
right.
Big Daddy pretty much was
You
in
would do that.
charge of
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
But I remember that one time when we came to visit, and I don't remember what we came out there for, but somehow we got on the discussion about a kid, a little boy boys, being feminine and acting like
Yeah,
that. And I
Uh-huh.
remember I think she mentioned that, you never know, because it was some family or somebody where this little boy from just a little kid, so
Uh-huh.
the child just had those tendencies from a
right.
child, and it wasn't like the parents,
Uh-huh.
because I think I said something like about, why would parents train them up that way, because I do know that some, they would they'll put little girl stuff on kids or whatever, and
Right.
but that was not the case, and that baby just had those tendencies because you really don't know.
Well, she's probably talking about a really good friend of mine who she's passed away now, and that was her son, even as a young baby. When he was like a just little toddler, because he used to love to hang around my daughter Aisha, and she had her hair hanging down. It was long, and he would go get him a towel and put it on his head and let him have hair that was hanging down. The other boys and brothers and stuff, they'd get a towel all right, but they put it around their neck and they'd be Superman and flying. He didn't want to do that. He wanted that long hair. And so he was always that way, just even as a child, even as a little bitty one. And of course, later on, it did show itself that he was gay. But so it wasn't something that he chose. It wasn't something the parents had set him up for, because when the mother realized that he was gay after he got to be about a teenager, she actually put him out of the house. But then
oh my.
Yeah, because she didn't want that for him, But anyway, I guess she changed her mind and accepted him back and everything because, they had a really close relationship and everything. But
yeah.
So I don't know. I guess that's the way I feel too. Sometimes you just don't know.
You don't know. But that one area in terms of sexuality is a mystery for most of us. And we have been taught by our culture and particularly by our churches that gay people choose to be gay and they're violating God's rules for them. And so that's the way we judge and treat them. That's the way this culture treats folk. Particularly church people do that. I have a friend who is, and I'm getting off family history, but I have a friend who is gay, and she talks about how painful it was growing up in her home. Her father completely rejected her, and she's close with her mom now. But there's a lot of ugliness in that area, a lot of ugliness and hate.
Yeah.
We were blessed in that area too.
Hard to understand.
It has nothing to do with just about gays, but I think about how mother embraced people. I don't care who you were, what your walk of life, how you lived your life or whatever. She just was there for people. I always think about Miss Evelyn, who she knew Miss Evelyn was gonna go and get some wine or whatever, and Miss Evelyn would get these greens and come by or whatever. But she did, if she needed 50 cents, mother gave her 50 cents and welcomed her there and gave her something to eat. If ever she needed something to eat, they just did that. And I think that probably came from Big Mama a lot too. Because Big Mama was like that about people. All the folks in Wetumpka love Big Mama.
Well, I know that my mom was telling me about Big Mama, how I guess they found that there was this woman that was living in the community. And I guess she was kind of a loose woman or whatever it was, but she had some kind of disease, and stuff. I don't know whether it was syphilis or something. I don't know. But anyway, when Big Mama found out about her and that she didn't have anywhere to stay, Big Mama supposedly went to this woman and found some kind of empty, vacant place for her to be. And then she took the lady there, and each day she would go see about her, go and help wash her up and clean her up and bring her some food and stuff until she got better and on her feet, But I mean, it was like, I felt like the same way with my mom, no matter who needed help, my mother was there for them. Even it was family, because we've had a lot of our cousins and stuff like that. Maybe they may have been on drugs or something like that. They just really needed some time to get themselves together, and they would come and live with us for a while, and until they could get themselves together, and then they would leave when they'd be on their feet and everything. And then here come another one, but she never turned anybody away like that.
Yeah.
And she would tell them, she said, well, I might not have any place for you to sleep, but the floor or something like that, or on the couch, which you can come. And they would come and they would respect our home and everything. But I mean that just let me know that you have to be there for family.
Yeah.
And you have
family, and they don't have to be biologically related to you. People who are in need, found that they would help.
Exactly.
So, on that same topic, what would you name as the core values that we gathered growing up in the Scott family?
Oh my
What are the core values?
Gosh, to hone it in like that, let me see.
Love of family, to me.
Let me see.
A love of family.
Love of
family, right?
Family.
And that sense
I think probably that's basically what it is. It really is the love of family, but that's a kind of unwavering kind of a love. Which means I'm there for you. There are no circumstances where I'm going to turn my back on you. We'll try to have to talk and work it out and figure it out, but you're family, period.
Yeah.
But,
So it was that.
Unconditional, it's an unconditional.
Yes,
Yes,
unconditional.
that
Yeah.
You
unconditional
know,
love
you
of that, yes.
I might get mad at you, like you say, you know, we might have our differences,
Mhm.
but when it comes down to it, we're family and that love is
Mhm.
always there.
It's always there.
No,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
So it's just like I remember with
respect for others
omniscient.
too.
Mhm.
A certain amount of love and respect for
For
people,
others.
Yeah.
or just a love and respect for people. But
Mhm.
one thing I wanted to say that came to mind when you were talking about that, Luvenia, was I remember that summer I was out there, and it was kind of a scary event for us. I mean, I was 10, but
Yeah.
we were all in the house doing our thing, and there's loud banging on the door, and I don't know, I think Uncle Ike might have been on a hunting trip or something.
Oh,
But
okay.
Aunt V went to the door, and she opened the door, and there's this white man standing there with just blood everywhere. I guess
Oh.
he had gotten mugged or something, and she brought him in the house and got towels and cleaned him up and everything, and called the police, and and we wondering what happened to this guy, because just seeing all the blood and stuff was a scary part for the kids, but she did that. She didn't know that man. She couldn't have known that man. She just
Yeah.
saw she just saw
Somebody in
him,
need.
and he
Mhm.
needed help.
They
Yeah.
had that kind of compassion. Mother took care of
Yeah.
our neighbors
She
when
got
they
help
were
with
sick
children.
and whatever until they either died or came back to health. But speaking of that, white men came to our house one time and was hungry. And mother sit that man down and fed him, and Eddie liked to have a fit. But yeah, she would just do that. Yeah, Eddie said, "What you do this?" I mean, but yeah, she would do
Yeah.
it.
In terms of their religious faith, they lived it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All this stuff we're talking about was lived out faith. It wasn't just talking about I love the Lord. It was being followers of Jesus Christ authentically. That is the thing that impresses me in terms of the values that are passed down to us. You don't play church.
Yeah.
You know, either you're going to be a follower of Jesus or you're not.
I
Go ahead, Levine.
oh no, I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Mm.
That and Big Mama's favorite, cleanliness is next to godliness. You all remember that?
Yeah.
Clean yourself up, clean your house up. Now, Veessa is the one of her children who got that, I think, in spades. But because we could keep pretty messy, not filthy, but pretty cluttered sometimes. Because mother was pulling out stuff to teach us poems and teach us
Mhm.
songs and all that. So,
Yeah.
but Big Mama was she was a very tidy person.
Mhm.
That's like my mother. Yeah. Boy.
Yeah.
Because even though my mom was losing her sight and she couldn't see everything, she could tell you where anything was because she
Yeah.
would always take it and put it right back, and everything was in its place.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't quite like that.
Me either.
Not quite.
I mean,
when did she develop this love for these elephants? Because didn't she start keeping elephants or something?
yeah, she did. And
Collecting.
I don't know when that started, but maybe she always liked them. But yeah, she always did collect elephants.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I asked her why she liked them. She just said she just did. She didn't really have a real reason except that she just liked elephants.
It's
But
a good luck symbol in Africa.
yeah.
Is that right?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
One of the famous animals in Africa for luck is elephant.
I was gonna say too, I felt also with our family, with the Scott family, the sisters and stuff, their legacy really was prayer. Because I mean, no matter what was going on with anybody, anywhere, all the sisters would know about it and they would be all praying for that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because I remember finding myself doing that. I remember one time Jason had gotten into an altercation with somebody approached him and they were trying to beat him up, they were and stuff. And anyway, he got away from the situation, but then I think, did he come to our house or something like that? Anyway, I think he came to our house, and then it's his mom, Cheryl. She came and we all got together and we held hands and we were praying for Jason that they wouldn't come back again, and try to do anything to him. And I said, okay, that was from my mom, and from all of her sisters and stuff, because I know that they had a prayer list going on constantly. And
Yeah.
even though one was in Kansas City, one was in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, one was in
Mhm.
San Francisco, whatever, it did not matter. There was some
No.
prayer going on.
Right,
Yeah.
they were there for each other. I know when Nisha called up and said that that guy had
Cookie.
killed Cookie,
Yeah.
mother was
Oh.
on the next plane out of Kansas,
Mhm.
Way out there, yeah.
Yeah.
headed to
Yeah.
Los Angeles to be with her
Yeah.
sister.
They had a quiet strength.
Yes.
Yeah, they
that-
did.
that-
Very
and I think that was passed along to the women in the
Uh-huh.
family. There's just a quiet, and some not so quiet, but there's
Yeah.
a
Who
quiet
you
Yeah,
talking
strength
about?
and then they'd
that
all
they
get
had.
together and sing. You know, if they were all
Yes.
together, they
yeah.
all would be
Yeah.
harmonizing and singing in the
Yeah.
kitchen
I've
or
got,
wherever they were together. They had,
yeah.
you know,
I've gotten, I think Steve remembers saying it. I think it may be a cassette tape, and I may have transferred over to a CD, a mother and Veessa just singing some of the old songs
they
together.
have that one. I think
Yes,
that's on
you got
that's
it?
on the
Okay.
drive, on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Google Drive. But
And
you know what I was gonna say
when
about my
the end of
mother
the
and her.
call, at the end of the phone call, it was like they didn't want to say goodbye because mother would say, okay, I'll talk to you later. And
I
Veessa would say,
know.
"Well, how is everybody there?" And mother said, we're fine. How are you all out there? And
Yeah,
I love that. So, and I want
yeah,
to share that with our children and grandchildren to
right.
see that camaraderie
Mhm.
between them or among them, actually.
But another thing that they passed down, and this was from Big Daddy especially, and that was the sense of education.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
He
yes.
must, it
Education
was
was
in one of his,
important to him.
yeah, he sent Bruno a letter, didn't he, Barbara?
Harris told me that he was sending letters to all of them as they graduated, but he sent Ronald a letter when he graduated high school, and I've been trying to find that and encouraging him to go on to college. And then he adds this to his letters. He said, I made excuses that I couldn't complete my education because I was Black and there were those barriers. He said, and then I thought about Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, George Washington Carver, all of those men, they're Black just like me. And they were not stopped from completing their education. And that was the kind of encouragement that he offered. Y'all got some really,
really,
what is stupendous ancestors. I mean, the man was just, he was extremely intelligent. You know, he read a lot. He read a lot. Well, let me tell this funny story though. He read the word thing in Reader's Digest, and I don't know whether Reader's Digest still does that, but they examine words in each of their issues. And Big Daddy was he was really a reader following the Reader's Digest language stuff. And Maxine and Harry's tell this. I don't know whether it's true or not, but Maxine and Harry's tell this story that at business meeting at First Baptist one night, they were considering the membership list and people who had not been there in a while and what they were going to do, take them off the rolls or go visit with them or what. And so they were this woman named Miss Tilly Todd. They were considering removing her name from the membership roll. And Big Daddy spoke up and he said, well, now, brothers, before we just rashly take Sister Todd's name off the rolls, I think some of the deacons need to go over and have a little intercourse with her. The definition that he had read in Reader's Digest for intercourse was
conversation.
yeah.
cracked them up. Of course, none of the other people his age knew the word either. So, but the young people, Maxine, they had to leave the room.
You get any
Imagine that
volunteers?
empty.
Get any volunteers?
I don't know if
Did they have any volunteers to say we'll go with you?
Go have intercourse with the lady.
Right. I don't know if we included this about mother, but we have to include this for every last one of us. She would even put it on a paper and put it in your lunch sack or whatever. When you left that house, Proverbs 3 and 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path.
Oh, yes.
Every last one.
I mean, I wasn't even living at home and she would put that in every letter she sent.
Everything. She had that.
But Tag told me that Aunt Zephyr, not that, but she had a day of the week that was dedicated to one child. So, but these were her children. They had a day that she spent the day her prayers were for them. Like Pauline had Monday, and so what her prayers Monday were for Pauline throughout the day. And if Tag had Tuesdays, and that she did that throughout her lifetime.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow. Really something.
yeah. Shoot,
But
that's
you know,
something.
I was thinking back with my mom again. We talk about her being, honest about her feelings and stuff like that. I remember I had just decided to cut my hair off really, really short. I had a afro and it was real short. And she didn't see it or anything, but I had parked across the street. So I was walking down the street towards the house. And when I got to the door, she said, "I thought you was a man when you walked up here." Oh my God, Mama. Okay, thank you.
Sounds like
You know,
that sure
but
sounds
she
like
was she did not, if it hit her, then that's what she was gonna
But
say.
she's gonna get
Yeah. You know, sometimes I and some other Christian friends will talk about whether or not we'll know each other when we get to heaven. I sure hope we do. I want to meet these people again in heaven in that perfect place, because the impact that each of them has had in my life has been, well, it's life changing. Put it all together. And my life is what it is today because of the family that I grew up in, and of course, because of the Lord. But I would not know the Lord unless he miraculously intervened, and he does that. But I know the Lord because they knew the Lord and they honored him in their lives. So I'm very grateful that God placed me in this family.
yeah.
I was thinking about that same thing the other day, and I said I've had at least several encounters with all of my aunties,
Mhm.
and they all had done something for me in a personal way that just, and I don't know if that happens in every family where the kids get a chance to just personally have those one-on-ones with their aunties like that,
No, I'm sure it does not. I'm sure it does not.
Yeah, I remember Aunt Velma. I always remember her being so humorous. She always had something. I mean, even when Daddy died, and we were down at the funeral home. She was making us laugh down there. I'm thinking like, wow, here we are. Yeah, but I remember when she and Uncle Cleve got married, and they were taking off from Mom's house, and they were getting ready to go somewhere, I guess, for their honeymoon or whatever it was. And then she leaned her head out of the car as they were getting ready to roll off, and she said, uh, there may be some snow on the roof, but there's still some fire in the house." And then they took off down the street.
That sounds like Velma Overstreet.
Yeah, that's what she was talking about.
Uncle
Yeah.
Cleve, but you know, Aunt Velma was 87 and Uncle Cleve was 90 years old, I think, when
Yeah, they
When
were.
they got married. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they were.
It was a mess.
And people were just really, really amazed when I would tell them. I said, "Yeah, Ma, she just got married." She said, "What?" And when a friend of mine, her husband had died, and she was thinking about, "Lord, I just want to leave here. I want to go home and be with the Lord. So I can see my husband again." And so when I told her that my aunt got married at 87, she says, "What?" Like, it's not over for me yet. Because that was funny. Because no people think that folks get married again at that age, and that was a long time since Uncle Jesse.
Yeah.
And she was still wearing her high heel shoes too much.
I know.
Yes, that just amazed me.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about when I wrote that poem that I had read at her birthday party that they had at the hotel that time.
Uh-huh.
And it was about her being able to walk in those little heels.
Walking them heels.
Sassy walk that she had.
Yes,
Yeah.
she strutted. She
Yeah,
said,
she did.
Strutted, that's the word. She strutted.
Just a little Miss Sassy.
Ah, shucks. Because Lillie Mae had some strut in her also.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
But it's after 7 o'clock. But
Yes.
I want Luvenia, you know more about Nisha than the rest of us do, because she moved and went to California when she was what? She was fairly young when she left. So why don't we put her on the agenda for next time?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And on her reach, hopefully Jerry can get on.
Yeah.
Did Lauren K get a call about this so she could get on?
I'm sure
Lauren
she
K told me, you know how she talks.
Yeah.
Barbara girl, I ain't getting on there. I don't know nothing about them people.
And
They're
that's
good
what
people,
about her
girl.
mama.
Yeah, well, that's what Amber says, but I think it would be good for them to get on just so they can hear what other people know about their people.
Kay knows stuff. She knows about
Yeah,
her mother.
that's her
Yeah,
mother.
Kay knows.
Yeah, she does.
She
I'll
knows
send
her
her a
mama,
text.
she knows Aunt V, she knows Aunt Velma.
Yeah. Yes. Now she works in the healthcare. Isn't she like a CNA or something like that? She
Who?
takes
Lauren K.
Lauren K. What does she do?
She's in security, basically.
Oh,
That's
is
what she was
she?
doing. Unless she's
Okay.
changed jobs, but yeah, that's what she was doing with security.
Okay, if that's what she's doing though. She
Mhm.
probably works some Sundays, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna check with her. I'll check with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Luvenia, how is see, that's my cut, Floyd.
Oh, he's doing okay. He's doing all
Good.
right. You know, he's got the memory issues and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
But
he's
they
doing
come and go. He remembers some things though, doesn't he?
oh yeah, he remembers a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
you know, but then there's certain people sometimes he don't remember. One particular time he didn't remember me, you
Mm.
know,
Oh,
and
really?
so yeah, he was here and he was looking at some pictures that I had of his kids on my dresser at the top, not dresser, some of those stands. And so he says, I'm trying to figure out why you would have the pictures of my kids at your house. I said, because I'm their auntie and I'm your sister. And so he said,
Yeah.
no, my sister, I mean, you know my other sister? I said, no, it's me. I'm the one, you know. So I took out a picture of me and Terry together when he was little. I said, now see, this is me. I got a different hairstyle, but yeah, that's me. I'm older now, of course. And showed him all these pictures and stuff. I don't know if he really believed it, but he never said that again. Ever since then, I mean, he's been telling me that I'm his sister and he loves me always and all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
Well, you can tell
And then
him
he's not
that-
living by himself, is he?
no, because but Brian goes over there and he's with him every day. He goes by to check on him and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
he spends the night, a couple of nights too there. So
Oh, but that's good. Well,
But his physical health is good.
His cousin Lamont and Rhea think that he's just wonderful. They had so much fun with him, girl, when they were out there. They still talk
yeah,
about
Florida
know
has a
it.
keen sense of humor. A real, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, he does. He still has that too.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Good.
he still talks a lot. Yeah.
Okay, are you guys
All
ready?
right, good people.
Yeah.
All righty, well, I will see you all.
Cynthia's ready to leave.
Now y'all know.
Okay, so we're going to do every 2 weeks. So let's look at the calendar. And I'm going to send out something today. But let me take a look.
I
And,
talked to Adele again and I told her about it. So she said she didn't get it.
You're
She
talking.
Hey, now,
Mhm.
what's
You
going
talking to
on?
Luvenia?
That was Adele. I talked to her.
Oh, okay. Oh, what did she say?
Nothing. She didn't know it was today. She
Okay.
didn't know that they were having anything today because she didn't get a text or a message.
No,
or
because I don't have her on my list. Send me her contact information.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
And then Merle said she didn't get it either, so I guess you probably have to add her on it. Merle.
Merle.
Or look at what,
Yeah,
no,
send
you were
me
gonna
both
look
of
at what
them.
number you had out.
Yeah, I
Oh.
sent it to Merle, but most likely I had the wrong number.
Okay,
Mama,
yeah,
May
I'll
the
text
5th May the 5th would be,
May the 5th?
yeah, now that's my baby's birthday, but I don't know if we're doing anything that day or not. That's my grandbaby's birthday.
Can you not think of anybody else who may not? I've got Merle and Adele. Who else?
I don't know about because I guess I'm trying to figure. Okay, so then I know that Rochelle, she tries to keep up with stuff. So
Yeah, she told me she's not gonna be able to come.
okay.
Because I'd actually sent in her registration for her, and then she sent me a text and said she couldn't get the transportation money together.
Oh,
So she's not gonna be able to come. And I don't know. Oh, and I'm going to put a fire under Roosevelt. I don't want them to feel like they're left out. What Steve said about taking off Carter might make some sense. I know Dorothy will not be happy with that.
It's my grandmother y'all messing with, but okay.
Your grandma, your grandma, your grandma
Nah,
stopped being
but
a
see,
father in 1909.
You just want to,
After that.
this is not a man's world.
But the other thing, though, Rochelle is a Scot, but what's this other child's name who's from Aunt Emma?
Yeah.
Carter. She's a Carter.
At this late date.
The one who just got married. She's Aunt Emma's granddaughter. Anyway, but let's leave it the way it is right now. But
Leave it
what
like
I'm
it
hearing you
is.
all say is what we have been saying on the committee too, is that we are not excluding anybody who's related to us in any kind of way. We're just sort of zeroing in on our grandparents' descendants.
Right.
but tell me something. Do we have any people from Big Mama's side that actually do interact with these things?
Are they still alive? You know,
Yeah, they still
They're not
alive.
out.
who's
Yeah.
alive?
Okay, let's go back and look. And Lena, her son's dead.
Yeah. Mary's son was
Mary,
always
both
living,
of her,
but
all three of her
Madeline
sons are gone.
Oh, really?
Madeline didn't have any kids.
Who?
Madeline
Maddie had
didn't-
an adopted granddaughter that we don't keep touch with.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't know whether
I
she's
don't
living
know
or
her.
not.
And then I'm trying to think. Oh, Aunt Lulu, I never know. Y'all talk about Aunt Lulu.
Aunt Lulu,
that
we
don't
no, we
me
don't know
that-
her.
Anybody Aunt Lulu?
And I never knew any of Big Mama's
Yeah.
sisters.
Yeah.
None of her siblings. I
Yeah,
knew
the
Aunt Mary, Aunt Maddie, and Aunt Lena.
Yeah, those are the ones
Sure
that I knew.
And they do not have children
They
or
don't have
grandchildren
anybody.
still alive that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Mm.
So this is making
It
more
seems to
logical
me-
sense, isn't it?
Right, because it seems to me that the only ones of them, huh? The only ones that would be alive, we haven't kept up with, and those would be Aunt Mary's sons,
Children,
uh-huh,
yeah.
and their grandchildren, but we haven't kept up with them.
Harry's might have, but I don't think so.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
Cliff,
And that's not to say that because they don't, that we don't claim them, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
no, we just
It's
don't
because
know.
we don't know them.
yeah,
You know, when the time that they came to a reunion, at least when we had the first one in Kansas City, and who was it, George, and what's his name, his brother
Daniel came. I know
Daniel
was there.
came, and I think Daniel's wife, and it might have been one of their children who came, but we haven't seen any of them since that time. I don't think.
Yeah, we saw them when Cousin Cliff hosted the reunion in Chicago after that.
Okay.
And Daniel's wife, was Daniel still living then? I think he was. His wife and children were there.
Okay.
Because Cousin Cliff kept close relationships with these were his first cousins. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
yeah, cause now, cause although Cliff has grandchildren still living in the Chicago area, doesn't
What's
he?
Cliff's kid?
He
Cliff,
has a son. I don't know. I don't know. Harris might
I
know.
don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
That
think that
was
the
his-
Scott
he
thing is so
Mary's son?
huge.
When he
Mhm.
married to somebody named Mary or something?
who?
Cousin Cliff,
Who's
cousin Cliff, was he married? You talking about the one, the son? When
her
he
name was
married to a
Maddie, I
woman?
think.
Manny.
Okay, Mary or
Maddie.
Maddie or something, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. But she's not the mother of his children.
Okay.
Yeah.
No damn.
It's 14 minutes past my bedtime, so I'm gonna say good
Oh,
night.
okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Law and order is calling.
Good night.
Lord,
Jen.
Lord.
Stephen,
All right, everybody, go
Thank
find me
you.
something to eat.
Okay, good night,
Okay,
Cynthia.
Sylvia. Sylvia.
Cynthia. Oh,
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
So you know a good jazz place out there?
Oh, you covered,
yeah,
I already talked to EJ.
Okay, you gotta have some music now.
That's
Already
right.
talked to EJ. She
we
said
got
she
lots
got
of-
covered.
Lots of places to go.
Right, and she said that's why we're in the area that we're in, because
Yeah.
Right.
a lot of stuff is around there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's
Jazz, blues,
all of it.
yeah.
I
that's
love
a
it.
good
Yeah.
area.
Reggae? Yeah, man.
probably you can find some.
Oh, you
There
get
might
out of
be-
here. Talking about reggae, whatever.
There might be a club right
You
there.
are
in
not that
the-
far from the Negro baseball league,
Yeah.
and they've added a lot of stuff to it. And
Stevie, didn't we go there?
yeah, and the new gym
Oh,
theater,
yeah. Yeah.
it's not that far from there. So yeah,
Okay.
you're close, not that far from what the old jazz district was.
Mhm.
So
Can't
All
wait.
right, good people. See you
okay.
later.
Right.
See you
See y'all.
in 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Bye-bye.
Right,
Bye-bye.
couple-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
so
see.
May the 5th,
right.
May the
Yeah.
what date was that
so
again?
what you been
May-
doing?
May the what?
Okay, I'm May 5th and then again on May
Take it
19th,
easy.
Okay,
Okay,
Take it easy.
June 2nd and June the 16th.
Oh,
all
okay.
righty.
all right.
And
All
then,
right,
I mean, we
good
can do
night.
again on June 30th if we haven't covered all the we covered quite a bit today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so we might finish up on the 5th. I'm not sure.
Well, just don't want to leave anybody out. So if Merle's having a tough time getting on or whatever, maybe somebody can lend a hand and help her get on.
We
Oh, yeah,
can
we'll
do
do-
that, or is Sunday the best? We decided that Sunday was the best day, and it is for
Yeah,
me.
it probably is. This is
Okay.
fine.
It is, this is the best day.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
okay, then we will do that. Anything else you all think about for the reunion, let us know. And we'll present it. Oh, this is something, I'm doing jigsaw puzzles that we're going to have at one of the events, and I just got one made, but it's blurry. But I'm trying to put it together now. But that's going to be kind of fun too. They're family pictures, and I got a picture with Big Daddy and cousin Bertha and Pearl and Uncle Fred on it. I think that that I had.
Some Uncle Fred story.
Huh?
I said we gotta tell some Uncle Fred stories.
Oh,
If anybody got some Uncle Fred stories.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. The other thing, Steve, and I could tell you this offline, but what do you think about doing just a clip from one of these that I can put on our Facebook page so to say, here's what we're doing. So a clip from our oral history stories.
Yeah, I like that idea. And I was also just now thinking we're gonna have so much stuff that I think what we send to Rob, he can edit down to a reasonable size
Uh-huh.
for the reunion,
Uh-huh.
but then have a Scott family YouTube channel.
Uh-huh.
We'll upload everything to that.
Yeah.
Uncut.
And then what we put on the
I know
YouTube.
y'all don't like to air your mess out there, but I'll put it up there uncut. All of
You so wrong.
But what I'm thinking is that people then can download that to their own computers if they want to.
right.
Okay. Yeah.
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 All right, I'm
Summer-
gonna say good night because my food is ready and my family. I've got family over here, Lulu and Tanya and all the people. So I'm gonna get going.
Oh,
She just
that's
came to the
right.
door.
You guys
Yeah,
are
she just came to the door and told
Bye.
me it was
over
ready. So
there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay, we're-
nobody, what you been up to? Nothing?
Just chilling.
We
Just
ain't
chilling.
up to nothing. You just been chilling too.
So we want you guys to be able to do what you did for me years ago, give us a tour of the whole area, because I still remember all those big fun we had.
Oh, okay.
You guys know the spots. Y'all know the spots.
Yeah, we can set up some stuff.
I know they got they got some new spots since we've been out. We
What
become
about barbecue place?
we become
Barbecue still down
homebodies.
there?
We're-
Thanks to son.
Yeah,
yeah,
you know,
that's
there's a place out here called what is it called? The school district?
Oh, you're talking about the Fire and Light District?
Yeah, the Power and Light District.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that. We haven't been because, well, you know, but we just haven't. But
We
everybody.
gotta take Barbara with us to the club.
Of course, and I can dance all night. Is that what you're saying? Even though I've got two left
Barbara, have
feet.
you been to the Power and Light District?
Oh, I've shopped and eaten at restaurants in the Power and Light District. Yeah.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they got everything down there.
But
Good.
there's some other places
But
though.
there's some other
Oh, like
places.
they've got places. There are places also still in the 18th and Vine district, aren't there?
Yeah, that's what Dorothy was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some places down there.
Where
Well, you
now that-
Barbara gets around.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
yeah, that's the original jazz district.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was the original jazz.
Jazz
Yeah.
district,
Yeah.
And the new
That's some good stuff.
Negro
Well, yeah, the Negro
music.
Baseball league.
Baseball League Museum is
Uh-huh.
there.
That's a jazz museum down there
They're building
too.
a brand new. Yeah, there's a jazz museum there too.
Yeah, yeah,
Right across the street, I believe.
uh-huh.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's an
things
interesting
going
place.
on.
They were having some financial difficulties, so I don't know
Okay,
how
well,
that's
but
impacted.
You know what? There's a lot of people here in Kansas City that are gonna help you out.
Okay, good.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I have
Okay,
eaten already, but
Barbara.
I'm going to get off and do some stuff. I've got
Okay.
piles. I'm glad you guys can't see my desk.
They'll see it.
No, mountains of stuff, books that I say I'm going to read, papers that I've been writing little notes on, you name it, and I've got it here. So
I
I'm gonna,
got the little notes of paper, but I don't have all that other stuff.
you don't have the books and stuff? I've got books. I'm gonna
I
read
got the
them.
little notes where I'm
Okay,
gonna
I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay,
Right.
bye.
Bye.
everybody. Good night. Have a nice night.
Yeah, take care.
Bye. Okay.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Hey,
All
you
right,
guys are
bye-bye.
ready for your trip? You
Oh,
guys-
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys are taking a good trip.
Hey, you gotta click quick because she ain't gonna let you go.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. We'll see you.
Yeah.